In 2003, I was assigned to the United States Embassy in Amman, Jordan, as the Chief of Staff for Task Force West and was also the acting defense attaché. As a result of those responsibilities, I met daily with staff from the Royal Jordanian Air Force and on a weekly basis with staff from the Royal Jordanian Army. As a result of those contacts, I made a close friendship with some of the senior leaders in the Jordanian military, including His Royal Highness Prince Faisal bin Al Hussein. During the Aqaba Peace Summit and follow-on planning for the Falcon Air Meet, which was an F-16 regional partnership that Jordan was initiating, I had conversations with Prince Faisal about the state partnership program. We were lucky to have an air attaché, Lieutenant Colonel Pops Avery, who was very supportive of the program. Upon my return to the United States, we took the idea to Major General Mason Whitney and then to the National Guard Bureau of Foreign Affairs, who fully supported it. Over the next several years, we made frequent trips to Jordan to solidify the state partnership, and eventually Prince Faisal traveled to the United States and to Colorado to formalize the agreement. During those years, people from the Colorado National Guard went to Jordan on a frequent basis. I know myself, I went approximately every 3 or 4 months, 4 or 5 times a year. I was a judge for 2 Falcon Air Meets and also brought instructor pilots over for the 2nd Squadron for combat search and rescue training, as well as other instructor pilot training for the 2nd Squadron. I also had the opportunity to work with Prince Faisal on their acquisition of F-16s for another F-16 squadron and the multi-stage improvement program for their existing F-16s.
Our state partnership with Jordan started in 2003, and it was after we had gone to Iraqi freedom, and we had a liaison officer that coordinated with Prince Faisal, who was the commander of the Jordanian Air Force at the time, and talked about the state partnership program that we had with Slovenia. And Greg Graff, who was the liaison officer, made a point to tell Prince Faisal that the program was very successful in accomplishing what the basic tenets of the mission of state partnership program were. And Prince Faisal expressed interest in that. And so Greg, when he came back to the United States after Iraqi freedom, he came to my office and said, "General Whitney, I've got a proposition for you if you think you would like it." He said, "We have a possibility of establishing a state partnership program with Jordan. Prince Faisal is very supportive of that." And I said, "Well, that's great. Let me coordinate with the governor." And I spoke immediately to Governor Owens, who's very supportive of the National Guard and very supportive of our state partnership program, who we had with Slovenia at the time. And he said, "Absolutely, go for it." So then I also coordinated with our group commanders to make sure they were comfortable with the fact that we were engaging in another state partnership program, because the workload on the group commanders was going to be significant compared to what we have with Slovenia. And of course, the many different areas of the Middle East that America's been involved with has left us with some challenges in terms of what our image is over the Middle East. So we had that consideration as well. So we assigned Colonel Jay Gates as the International Affairs Officer to start coordinating with the National Guard Bureau and with Jordan about how to establish a state partnership program. About that time, Prince Faisal decided that he needed to come over and sign a support agreement with Colorado. And we did that with General Danny James, who was the director of the Air Guard at the time. And Prince Faisal and Danny James and I met, and we signed an agreement. This is in April of 2004 to establish the state partnership program between Jordan and Colorado. At that time, there was a joint military council that was going to meet soon after in Jordan, and Colonel Gates went over there to present the program and kind of an initial interview about what to expect out of the state partnership program. Jay did a great job in the Joint Military Council, but what he found was there was a lot of misunderstanding about what the program was. and exactly how it was to be implemented. And so he went back on another visit. It was our first actually operational state partnership visit to Jordan, and presented the state partnership program to all the senior officers over there, and received what we thought was a very positive understanding of what they could accomplish with the program. So then we decided that we needed to have a TAG visit. The Adjutant General would visit in 2005, and we did that with a group of our senior officers. Went over there to establish exactly who we were and to build relationships. And we did that with Prince Faisal, his great help in doing that, and then also with Major General Al Biss, who helped as well. So those two were instrumental in helping us to establish the program. And then after the TAG visit, we invited the governor to go over to visit Jordan, and he made a state visit over there, and we were able to get an audience with King Abdullah, basically establish more than just a military relationship with Jordan. We established a political relationship with our chief executive officer and our commander, the governor of the state of Colorado. So Governor Owens was very supportive of everything that we did over there. And so therefore, we have a great state partnership program with Jordan after the great partnership we've had with Slovenia.
With the Jordanian partnership, I basically became TAG in 2007 after General Whitney. And the partnership had been established and well done as far as the basics in getting it going. When we took over, one of the things that we decided to do was to try to actually personalize it more with the leadership from Jordan when they'd come visit us. And so for the 10 years that I was TAG, anytime the Jordanians would come over here for a state partnership program, we would always host the senior leadership that was here to visit us. And that included Prince Faisal, Princess Ayesha, Prince Zaid, Youssef, General Youssef, the current Chad, and many others. And from that perspective, I think what that did for the partnership was it formed a trust basis that, to me, is unmatched by other state partners. Because when you host someone for a dinner and you bring them into your family, it truly becomes like family. And so because of that, whenever I would go to Jordan and spend time with the Jordanians, I would always get invited to go to their domiciles also. And so it became almost like a family relationship. But with that relationship, we built a trust that I believe today is unmatched. And what you see with Jordan is the things that they've accomplished and what they've done to support Western ideas and Western thoughts towards the Middle East. And Jordan has a peace treaty with Israel. Watching how they've reacted and worked with Israel over the years, it's not public, of course, because of the sensitivities over there, but their militaries are very close as far as how they work together. And so I can remember when I was over there on a visit, how the Jordanians refueled on an Israeli tanker to go do a mission of significant importance in the Middle East. So that's just one of those thoughts and ideas that I've seen. So I believe the trust between the United States and Jordan has been so important to the process in the Middle East right now, and I feel like that Colorado, in no small role, has done a great deal to provide that trust. And so when you look at Jordan now, we actually have clearance to be based in Jordan with United States aircraft. We do a lot with the helicopter side of the world. We do a lot on the Army side of the world. We do a lot on cyber. We've done exercises with them and training in basically counterterrorism opportunities, and it's unbelievable, the relationship that we have. And so from that perspective, I just believe so much that the time that we've had Jordan as a partner, now 20 years, my gosh, it's hard to believe, but the time that we've been a partner with Jordan, that we've helped them to better understand us, and by doing so, we've way better understand them. They've always been the voice of moderation in that area, and I believe we back them up. The Jordanian Military Commission, that has been it's basically an annual meeting. And what I would tell you about Colorado's involvement in that, usually Jordan comes forward with a lot of requests for help from the United States, whether it be aircraft, whether it be helicopters, other defensive spending. And I would tell you that we probably have the reputation of being on Jordan's side more so than the Department of Defense as far as trying to help them achieve. But we could always sit down with them and explain to them why you might not get this, but you might get this. And so it just, again, the trust between us has been very significant as far as how successful Jordan is in the Middle East and how successful we have been being associated with Jordan. So it's a true privilege and an honor to be a part of that.
For a state partnership program, really the strategic for any nation is really the long-term relationships that are established with the state partnership program. You know, on active duty, personnel move every couple of years. And, you know, to really establish a long and lasting relationship with countries, it really helps when you've had relationships that are built over many years. There are friends that are leaders in the Jordanian Armed Forces now that I've known for 10 to 15 years. And those type of relationships really help on the strategic mindset or the strategic set of things, because when they're having issues, they can call you and say, hey, we're having a problem here. Can you help us with whatever it is? Whether it's with UH-60s, with F-16s, with, hey, we're looking at buying C-130s. I know you guys don't have C-130s in Colorado, but could you have another state help us, you know, developing TTPs and learning how to fly tactically? And absolutely, that's what we do. Being from the United States, it always helps for us to really, especially for any of our conflicts we've had in the Middle East, Jordan has been a great source for us to help our personnel understand the Muslim culture, the Middle East culture, and everything that, you know, how to deal with that country or with that culture inside the Middle East and how we can better understand it. And they've been huge assets for us, able to call them up and say, hey, I'm having this problem of establishing this relationship with somebody, whether it be in Iraq or Afghanistan. And can you help us on this to try to help us establish trust so that we can, you know, help the United States or for a particular unit at the tactical level to achieve an objective. And it's all about, again, friendships and trust. And that's what Jordan has helped us do.
It's an extremely warm, family-oriented culture, right? From all my military friends, Jordanian friends that I worked with, it involved having a meal, having chai, having their coffee, you know, experiencing that, you know, conversations, learn about their families. You know, they would ask about my family, where I'm from. So it was that building that trust, whether it was my Arabic teacher where, you know, at their house learning Arabic, breaking bread, whether it was with my friends that I would play soccer with. It always involved having some kind of meal, having some kind of, you know, chai, and having conversation about family and friends. So from that perspective, and they're always welcoming, right? They're always welcoming, making sure you know, that everything they had in their household was provided to you. Open arms, just really wonderful experience. You know, when I went with my family, they just opened the door, right? And I was kind of concerned, you know, being Persian, American, going into Jordan. It was a concern, right, how I would be perceived. But I would tell you that very unique to Jordan and Jordan's culture, the people, they're welcoming of everybody, right? That is so unique to Jordan, in my opinion. Having traveled a lot of other places, I really felt welcome. I felt part of their family. And that's how it was for the 2.5 years I was there. I'll never forget that.
So it's an honor to be able to be part of this relationship with Jordan and celebrate 20 years. And as you have heard from the previous officers, this partnership is based in trust. It's founded in trust, and that's what makes it very special. I think the future partnership with Jordan in Colorado is going to look somewhat the same and a little different. And I'll talk near and far kind of term future. Near term, they're getting F-16 Block 70s in the next 2 years, and we have been really working a lot with their operations and maintenance to help them receive them and be able to operate them effectively and efficiently. We're going to continue that. And the same with the Army Aviation partnership with their Royal Jordanian Helicopter Force. We're going to continue to work with them on operations and maintenance. I think what's really exciting is the future that we've started now that's going to go into the far term, and that is the work that we're doing around cyber, the work that we're doing around humanitarian aid and disaster relief and crisis management and medical training and trauma training. Those, I think, are going to take us into the future to the point where we can really connect civilian to civilian sectors between Colorado and Jordan. And that's what's exciting to me, is that this partnership will go beyond just the military partnership that we've worked so hard. But I think that the civilian sector is going to enjoy the partnership that's been built over the last 20 years as well. There's a lot of work around water management, renewable energy. I think that Jordan is interested in what we're doing in Colorado around those sectors. And matter of fact, we're going to go do some visits here in August as we celebrate to kind of start to introduce those as well. So I think the future is really open. There's a lot of opportunity. So we're going to continue some of the same, but I think we're going to expand out into the civilian sectors. And I think that the next 20 years is going to be pretty amazing, and we'll just continue to build off of the last 20 years.